You're watching NBC3 News at 5.
You can't Google winter weather without hearing about La Nina. But what is, or maybe who is, La Nina? Will have an impact on our weather in central New York this winter. Meteorologist Violet Skybor has been digging into the data and had a debate about its impact with our Weather Authority team.
So La Nina versus El Nino, we've both heard of those. It has to do with the trade winds. So the trade winds are right at the equator. They blow from east to west. La Nina is when they're stronger. And when they're stronger, we have some colder water bubbling up in the eastern Pacific, so on the west coast of the U.S. And that can affect our jet streams and where they push our weather streams. The jet stream is basically the roadway for our weather systems and how they move across the country. So with a La Nina, even though it is a weak one, that will affect our jet streams, likely to bring some warmer and drier conditions to the Northeast. But again, it's not always a direct correlation, just because we have a lot of micro-scale type of weather events that happen here in the Northeast.
Here in central New York, just like Violet said, we get some cold air, you get a west-northwest wind, and all of a sudden you get snow like crazy. So what did you find?
Yeah, so looking at the seasons that we went from neutral to a weak La Nina, in general, I've actually detailed top 10 past winters that are most similar to this one. And most of them, actually 7 out of 10, were below average snowfall. So there is a trend there. But I also want to point out, and I made a little graphic here to show you the outliers. We had one season that was 170 inches, another that was 134 inches. So a couple of outliers, and that can be due to things like a huge lake effect snow event that could dump several feet and just really throw off our season snowfall total numbers.
Right, and we just mentioned we're looking at all different type of things. It's not just one factor. That's why we're all doing different parts of the research.
If you'd like to listen to more from our Weather Authority team of meteorologists, the entire 30-minute discussion, or take a deep dive into what makes up our winter weather outlook, head to CNYCentral.com. Well, we have a weather alert tonight. Violet, we won't make you regurgitate what you just told us about the upcoming winter, because we want to know right now, what about tonight and tomorrow?
I know. We will see some snow on the way, even though we've been talking about, less amount of snow overall this winter. And it has been pretty late since we've gotten our first snowfall. But more is on the way, and it's going to be right around Thanksgiving Day travel. So let's jump right into it. The reason why we are in Weather Authority alert mode is for winter weather advisories in the higher elevations. Notice this does not include Onondaga County. However, we will still see some wet snow mixing in here locally in Onondaga County and the Finger Lakes. This all begins midnight tonight through Thursday evening, so pretty much a total Thanksgiving Day messy travel. We could see several inches of snowfall in the higher elevations, and on top of that, we will eventually get some stronger winds. Behind this weather system, we've also got some heavy lake effect snow that will be developing up for the North Country only. Northern Oswego, Lewis, and southern Jefferson counties starting 7 a.m. Friday through 7 a.m. Monday. So a long duration event that is likely to lead to low visibility, even sometimes possibly up to 3 inches of snow per hour rates. Strong wind and also feet of snow is possible during that entire time period. So let's start with the short term. This is our Thanksgiving Day weather maker. It's already beginning to wrap up some colder air, bringing snow to parts of the Midwest, but notice it's mostly rain as of now. The forecast, though, is calling for some colder air now for central New York, which means more snow. Timing this out, right now things are quiet for travel. Lower 40s in Syracuse. Will be dropping down into the mid-30s heading into tonight, and then stay there for all day Thursday. So temperature is very borderline near freezing. We'll have increasing clouds tonight, staying dry until closer to midnight, 1 a.m. The onset of this will be mostly rain, but late at night, notice that most locations, especially the higher elevations, switch over to a wet snow. Still rain, though, for Syracuse. We're looking to hit a morning high of 37 and then drop through the day. Notice that we'll start to see snow for those lower elevations, Syracuse, Rome, Utica, by midday and into the afternoon. So that's going to be the worst time for travel here in central New York, or at least the lower elevations. Higher elevations likely to be messy road conditions all day. Through the afternoon, though, as we go towards the evening, That's when this precipitation becomes lighter. It doesn't dry out technically, but notice the snow and even the rain mixing in is a lot lighter and will be gradually tapering off from 5 to 7 p.m. from west to east across central New York. Then we have some lake effect snow that will be developing behind that. So focusing on the snowfall for Thanksgiving Day, notice the lower elevations only around a coating to an inch for most spots. Colder surfaces could see around 1 to 2 inches as roadways, though a lot of melting. As much as 3 to 6 inches, though, for the highest elevations far to the south and southeast of Syracuse. Notice the towns in that dark blue region. Even some white far to the southeast, more than 6 inches. The lower elevations closer to the shoreline of Lake Ontario, though, likely not to get any snowfall accumulation at all. Beyond this, as I mentioned, we do have lake effect snow to deal with. That'll be very heavy up north for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but drop into central New York for Monday and Tuesday. Plus, highs will only be in the low to mid 30s all weekend and all next week. Overnights in the 20s. A live look now from our Stanley Law Skywatch Regency Tower camera. Quiet travel tonight, but again, you'll want some extra time for Thanksgiving Day itself. Stay safe and happy holidays. And speaking of the holiday, you can